What's going on, Sports? Make sure we get our audio set here. We are live for Titans at 2. Sam Phelan coming at you just moments after speaking with Tennessee Titans head coach Mike Vrabel at St. Thomas Sports Park. Also had the chance to catch up with Trin Burks, DeAndre Hopkins, and some of the quarterbacks, including Ryan Tannehill and Malik Willis. We'll hear from Will Levis as well. That is the subject of today's Titans at 2. It has been a hectic, crazy week in Titans land, possibly the most hectic week, certainly the most hectic week of the 2023 season thus far. From the quarterbacks to the trade of Kevin Byard to the trade rumors surrounding Derrick Henry, DeAndre Hopkins, to an autograph fiasco going on with D-Hop that he addressed in the locker room. There is so much going on and circling surrounding the Tennessee Titans right now. I'm going to try and cover as much of it as I can and talk to you about Will Levis, because all signs point to Will Levis for the Titans against the Falcons. Going to go over that in a loaded show here. Titans at 2, powered by Dobert. Dobert Pizza and Rotisserie, located in Green Hills. That's where you're sure to find flavor. Dobert brings you a crave-worthy menu with an unexpected yet perfect duo of pizza and rotisserie, with offbeat flavor combos made even more delicious when you dunk your food into house-made sauces. They're located in Green Hills, like I said. Dobert makes every Titans at 2 show happen, and I love them for it. And I've been over there quite a few times. Love the food, love the ambiance, good for any situation possible, whether it's watching a primetime football game. If you want to head over there this weekend to watch some college football, NFL action, whether it's date night or just a family night out, go to Dobert in Green Hills for the best there is in the city of Nashville. Okay, like I said, just wrapped up with Mike Vrabel and with the Titans players in the locker room discussing what the heck is the plan for the Titans this weekend and how everybody's feeling with the trade deadline coming in quickly and a rookie quarterback starting the game. Because as Mike Vrabel shared right as he pulled up to meet with the media, Ryan Tannehill out. Ryan Tannehill ruled out with his high ankle sprain. Not a real surprise there. He hadn't practiced on Wednesday or Thursday. He was not out there for practice again today. Just hasn't made enough of a recovery from his high ankle sprain to protect himself, feel like he can do his job appropriately. Mike Vrabel kind of said, it was just a situation they were hoping would improve, didn't improve enough. And while the Titans did see some progress, it's one of these things, you're either hurt or you're not. Right now, Ryan Tannehill's still hurt. Who will the Titans turn to? This is what Mike Vrabel said.
For you is still the same
plan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Same plan. And not ready to really talk about that, but excited to watch both those guys play. Really am.
How'd they do?
They've worked hard.
Yeah.
The whole thing has been somewhat unique situation with, a veteran guy that's won some games for us, 2 young guys. I think that's, right. Been the balance. Will being limited in training camp, just not being able to, to get those reps in a couple of those games that we had talked about. And so we'll see both of those quarterbacks on Sunday.
Is McCreary still in?
So there's Mike Vrabel talking, and you hear the comment, right? Not ready to talk about it, not ready to name a starter. But all signs are pointing to Will Levis. Will Levis has been, reported by Ian Rappaport as being prepared to start the game. Will Levis has taken every rep before Malik Willis during, quarterback periods. He takes the first rep. Typically, the starter takes the first rep. We have every indication right now that Will Levis is going to be the guy that the Titans play, at least start. Now, Mike Vrabel said earlier this week in one of the most questionable comments of the week so far that, it could be every series. It could be every other series, every 2 series. When talking about what the plan for these 2 quarterbacks were. That was a shock to me, a shock to many of the media members on site at the time, trying to figure out exactly what was going to happen, because this is not the preseason. This is not high school football. You don't send a quarterback out, let him play one drive, and then put the other guy in. That's not how this works in the National Football League. You pick a starter, you go with that starter. I expected to see Levis as the starter with special Malik Willis packages. I think that's what Will Levis is expecting too. Here's a video from Teron Davenport from the locker room this afternoon, where he asked Will Levis, what are the challenges of potentially going on for one series, off for one series? Watch Levis's face during this video.
I mean, just going to try to take it all in. I'm going to be a little nervous, which is completely normal. It'd be crazy to not be, but, taking deep breaths, taking it all in, and then focusing when it's needed.
If it is a situation where you're rotating series, et cetera, how tough is that for you to get into a groove, a rhythm as a passer?
No, I mean, I've been in the position before, so it's nothing, I'm not experienced with it all, but it's just being tuned into when I need to come on or off.
What has the problem?
That is a man who has never heard those words before, had absolutely no idea that it was being floated out there by his head coach that they might be on for one series, off for one series. It is a cross-eyed. Donald said, yeah, you looked surprised. Did look surprised. So that face says it all, as we got here in the chat as well. He's going to be the starter, and I still feel confident about that Malik Willis will be in there for special packages, but any nonsense about the idea of it being a series on, a series off is not only stupid, it is just a lie. And it's part of this tension that has been surrounding the Titans all week of nobody really wanting to tip their hand about who the quarterback was going to be when there's some obvious sort of vibes about who the quarterback is going to be, and everybody feels like they know, but nobody wants to say it. That face might be the thing that says it all for the Titans here. On the good side of things, Trin Burks returning. He has practiced in full all week. He is on pace to play for the Titans against the Falcons with a bunch of alumni and Titans greats in attendance as well. I will play you what Trin Burks had to say about his recovery process, his frustration, how he's feeling moving forward. Before I do that, want to tell everybody about Doughbird Pizza and Rotisserie. Again, they're powering today's Titans at 2. When you go to Doughbird, you can grab a seat at the bar and stay a while sipping on inventive craft cocktails made with daily fresh juices and homemade ingredients, local beers, and a menu of wines to pair with every delicious bite. They have happy hours Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. So that's going on here in 32 minutes until happy hour starts at Doughbird, with deals starting at $5 and a recently announced Bottle and Bird special that features a bottle of wine, rotisserie chicken, and 2 sides for $40 when you dine in. So go check out the happy hour over at Doughbird and Inventive Craft Cocktails, a wide-ranging drink menu and drink options over at Doughbird in Green Hills. Great parking, easy to get in and out of, great access. So Doughbird in Green Hills powering today's Titans at 2. Trin Burks, like I said, practiced in full, still on pace to play. Here is my conversation and the media's conversation with Trin Burks from this afternoon.
How'd the week go for you?
It's been a great week for me. Feel good. Ready to play.
How much you been chomping at the bit to come back?
Since I got hurt, honestly. I've just been doing exactly what I can to, get back, get better, get fully healthy. Todd and Brady, they've done a good job helping me do that. So.
How has the process been for you as far as getting back to explosiveness and everything that you need?
It's been kind of challenging, but I just stick to my roots, know what I have to do, and just know that God's gonna do whatever to make sure that I am good. So I don't too much sit there and dwell on it. I just do what I can.
Was it connected to your injury that you had in training camp?
No, sir.
You feel like you're as close to your health-wise as you were before Minnesota?
Yeah. I feel pretty good, man. And I'm just ready to see myself out there on Sunday.
After kind of ramp up here, Traylon?
Say it again?
Any kind of ramp up, or you're good to go full speed as many snaps as you need?
I'm just, I'm out there doing whatever I can to get to Sunday.
After the first injury, before the second injury, do you feel like you were at 100% through that time, or was it still trying to work through some discomfort?
I just say that God, he had other plans, and, so I am where I am now, and, I'm happy to be where I am.
What's it been like trying to get acclimated to a new quarterback with Will and Malik?
It hasn't been too much different because I've thrown with those guys since they first got here. So it's just going out there and play on Sunday and get a win.
I know you don't have any control over it, but is it hard still when it's kind of gone in fits and starts, like you're healthy for several weeks and maybe miss a couple and healthy?
It's part of it. There's nothing that I can do about that, but just be thankful for what, God's blessed me with and just keep moving.
There's the update from Titans wide receiver Trin Burks. Like I said, on pace to play. All things looking good. All signals are go for Trin. He's been a full participant, and the coaching staff and Trin have liked what they've seen. He should be out there alongside DeAndre Hopkins for the Titans wide receiving room, trying to make some plays for these two young quarterbacks that we keep talking about. And W. Kalman in the chat says he seems frustrated by his injuries, and I got to tell you, I am too. If he goes down again this year, it's now just a trend here. It's now a trend. He needs to show out eventually here. Absolutely agree. I mean, Trin Burks clearly frustrated, as he should be. There was a lot of hype about Trin this offseason. There was a lot of hype in training camp, and he was looking good in training camp. I was there every single day watching practice. Trin was looking good in training camp before that injury in joint practices against the Vikings, and I was there for that too. And I watched Trin in Minnesota hobble off that field, get on the cart, and the utter look of devastation and frustration on his face. To come back from that, seemingly start building a little bit of momentum, have a couple big plays here or there, and then go down again with an unrelated knee injury in the same knee. That's frustrating stuff. And it's frustrating for the fan base. It's frustrating for the coaching staff. It's absolutely frustrating for Trin. Interested that he said he's back, or he's excited to finally be fully healthy. Was kind of a phrase he used. And you guys heard my follow-up in there asking him, well, does that mean you weren't fully healthy before? Like when you came back, you were playing through it and there was no real risk of re-injury and you were playing through stuff, but were you fully yourself? Because Trin didn't look awesome at all the time in the first 3 weeks or however long he was in there for. He didn't really seem to stoked to answer that question, but he does give an indication that he's excited about where he is at now. So fingers are crossed. The hope is still that Trin Burks will be a fully healthy version of Trin Burks and look more like the guy that I watched during training camp when the Titans take the field against Atlanta. They need something on offense, and maybe Trin can be that spark plug. And see what else you guys are saying here in the chat. Jimmy wants somebody to get a second rounder for him. I don't think it's in the cards at all for the Titans to move on from Burks or trade Burks. He's younger, and they need guys that are younger and controllable and cheap right now with some of the difficulties that they've had here. Other notes from today. Roger McCreary back in practice. He was ruled questionable by head coach Mike Vrabel after practice. He's dealing with a hamstring. That's a huge deal with Roger McCreary there because no Kevin Byard. Elijah Molden is expected to start at safety. Elijah Molden is going to kind of step into one of those two starting safety positions. And Roger McCreary now needs to be your nickel all the time with Sean Murphy-Bunting and Christian Fulton. But if McCreary's not out there, if he cannot play because of a hamstring, now you need Elijah Molden to step in to be the nickel and or stays at safety. And then Mike Vrabel mentioned Eric Garror as a name, the rookie, the undrafted rookie, as somebody who could make his debut and play some nickel for the Titans. Eric Garror, also a name mentioned potentially as a punt returner. There have been 5 Titans players taking reps as a punt returner during practice this week, and 5 names floated around as competing for that job. It is wide receiver Kyle Phillips. The guy nobody wants to see back there anymore is still getting opportunity and trying to earn that job. And yes, we did watch him muff a punt in one of the few reps he took there yesterday during practice, but he is still back there. It is wide receiver Shi Smith, who is currently on the practice squad, who the Titans brought in a couple weeks ago from Carolina, who has some experience doing that in the past, would require an elevation, but not impossible. Mason Kinsey, another wide receiver who we have seen return punts for the Titans this year, did a very good job when he was given that opportunity. But again, the Titans don't seem too inclined to activate an extra guy from the practice squad just to be a punt returner. They keep saying, well, we only get 48 guys active. That would lead me to believe somebody like Shi Smith, Mason Kinsey, who would need to be activated from the practice squad, unlikely to get that opportunity. Another guy that's been back there, Colton Dowell. He is on the active 53-man roster, and if he remains active on game day, could see some opportunities back there. I don't know how likely that is. I've never really thought of Colton Dowell as a punt returner myself, but the Titans did give him some looks. And then the fifth one is that guy I mentioned, cornerback Eric Garror. Now, Garror is on the practice squad, but there is a potential exception to the rule here because he might be getting elevated to play defense. If you're going to elevate him and stick him in the nickel and, have him be a starting corner for you throughout most of the day, you definitely don't hate using an elevation on that guy. And then he's then available to be a punt returner as well. So you guys let me know, who do you want to see at punt returner? Who is the guy between Phillips, Dowell, Kinsey, Smith, or Garror that you would like to see get the opportunities there against Atlanta? I'm interested in seeing what you guys have to say. Got a couple other questions from chat with Tristan Foster asking me what I've heard about Derrick Henry rumors, and Chosen 522 also saying, are the Titans keeping Henry or no? I'll tell you guys what I'm feeling about Derrick Henry. Before I do that, want to tell you guys about Doughbird. Doughbird, again, is powering Titans at 2. I mentioned all the options they have for dine-in, but if takeout is more your style, you can go to Doughbird and grab the Family on the Fly bundle to feed your family. They're the go-to spot for to-go food in your neighborhood, located in Green Hills. It shares a parking lot with the Shake Shack. If you've ever driven by the Shake Shack in Green Hills, then you know where the Doughbird is. Easy to get in and out of, great food, great service, excellent ambiance, diverse for, very versatile ambiance, whether it's going to watch a game at the bar, bringing your family, or going on a date night. Doughbird does the job. So go check them out, where you're sure to find flavor at Doughbird Pizza and Rotisserie in Green Hills. Okay, let's see what your comments are saying first before I get to Derrick Henry. Garror or Kinsey's what Deanna's saying, and everybody else, Billy, Randall, Danny, Bobby, all coming in for Kinsey. Luman says Kearis Jackson dum-dums, and as Titans YouTuber points out, Kearis is hurt, or he'd be my choice. Kearis Jackson, he says he ain't ruled out. Kearis Jackson is ruled out. He's on injured reserve. He's nowhere close to returning, at least not yet. So Kearis Jackson is on IR, injured, not going to play this week or Thursday. He's still a ways away from being activated. So no news, no development there. Derrick Henry front. When I sat here on Monday and talked to you guys, or maybe it was Tuesday afternoon, I talked to you guys. I said that my standpoint was that the Titans were not going to move Derrick Henry. That was my understanding then. That was the feeling that I had then. I didn't see it happening then. In the days since then, the vibe has shifted a little bit, where the report from Buck Rising of A to Z Sports came out earlier this week, talking about the Baltimore Ravens, the level of interest that they have had, the way that they have been making phone calls before Buck had reported, right? No phone calls made. That was the information relayed to me as well, that there was no interest and nobody making calls about Derrick Henry. That has changed, and I have changed my stance on it over the last little bit too. If I were a Titans fan, would try to get to the game this Sunday and watch Derrick Henry play football for the Titans. I do think the chances of him getting dealt are increasing in likelihood with the level of interest increasing, and that it is possible this Sunday against the Falcons is the last time King Henry puts on a Titans uniform, but it will be an Oilers uniform. We'll see. A lot can still change. There's still an entire game to be played, an entire deadline that's still days and days away, and a lot can change in terms of like where the Titans are even at as a team by the time those phone calls are made on Monday and Tuesday morning. But certainly trending towards potential changes being made for the Titans here. I don't think they will trade DeAndre Hopkins. So make of that what you will. Get to Nissan Stadium if you would like. I will be there, and I know that I certainly will be sitting there and appreciating number 22, whether it be his last game with the Titans or not. That's all I got for you guys today. So much I could talk about, but we have a lot more content because Buck Rising is coming up here in less than an hour with his 615 Sessions podcast that's going to be going live. There's going to be some more written content on A to Z Sports, some videos from the locker room coming out all weekend long as the game is looming. And all of this tension surrounding the Titans, all of this tension that's been happening with Mike Vrabel and with the players in the locker room, it's bubbling, it's bubbling, it's bubbling. It might burst here in the next few days. So keep it locked in with A to Z Sports for all of that. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Till next time, tighten up. We'll see you later.